Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
If you're replacing cow's milk with almond, oat, or soy drinks in your toddler's diet, thinking it's a healthier or more sustainable option, you could be unintentionally creating a serious nutrient gap, one that affects your child's growth in ways you can't see right away. Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and I'm here with Alara Sky. Today we're looking at a growing trend among parents, the rise of plant-based milks for toddlers, and why it may be doing more harm than good.
Thanks, Ethan. More and more parents are swapping cow's milk for plant-based drinks under the belief they're making a better choice. But the data shows that these alternatives, whether almond, soy, or oat, are often nutritionally inadequate, especially for children between 12 and 24 months, when growth is rapid and every nutrient counts.
A German study published in the Journal of Health, Population, and Nutrition modeled what happens when plant-based drinks fully replace cow's milk in a toddler's daily diet. Researchers found that even a single swap, one daily serving of cow's milk replaced with soy, almond, or oat milk, caused calcium, vitamin B2, vitamin B12, and iodine levels to drop by roughly 50%.
And it's not just about the numbers. Even when plant-based drinks are fortified, the vitamins and minerals added aren't absorbed as efficiently. In other words, your child's body may be taking in far less than what the label claims. Fortification doesn't automatically mean bioavailability.
Exactly. What's concerning is that many parents are relying on labels like source of calcium or dairy-free without realizing that these products don't mimic milk's full nutritional profile. That makes it easy to miss subtle but critical shortfalls in essential nutrients that influence bone development, immune function, and brain health.
What makes this more alarming is that during early childhood, especially before age 2, nutrient needs are non-negotiable. Pediatric guidelines from countries including the US, Canada, and Australia all advise against using plant-based beverages as milk replacements in this age group.
The issue isn't just theoretical. In a review of real-world cases, doctors documented 30 infants and toddlers, aged 4 to 22 months, who were fed plant-based drinks. These children developed severe nutrition-related conditions, including rickets, protein deficiency, scurvy, and metabolic alkalosis, all from a diet assumed to be healthy.
Soy-based drinks are especially problematic. While they offer more protein than almond or oat milk, that protein comes with anti-nutrients that block absorption. On top of that, soy contains phytoestrogens, compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. That's not something you want influencing hormonal development in growing children.
There's research to support that concern. A study in Environmental Health Perspectives showed altered DNA markers in baby girls who were fed soy formula. Specifically, there were changes in genes sensitive to estrogen, which has implications for reproductive development down the line.
That's why soy formula, often promoted as a dairy-free solution for lactose-intolerant infants, raises red flags. The hormonal activity from phytoestrogens is significant. And again, it's not just about what's in the product, but how the body processes it. Even the best label can't undo poor absorption or hormonal disruption.
Another key point is processing. Many parents believe plant-based drinks are more natural, but most are highly processed. These drinks often contain gums, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, and added sugars. That puts them squarely in the category of ultra-processed foods.
And that's a health risk in itself. A study in the Lancet Regional Health Europe followed over 126,000 people and found that every 10% increase in ultra-processed plant foods raised the risk of cardiovascular disease by 5% and increased heart disease-related death by 12%. So while unprocessed plant foods like vegetables are protective, the processed versions do the opposite.
In contrast, raw grass-fed cow's milk is a whole food. It contains protein, healthy fats, calcium, and fat-soluble vitamins in forms your body can actually use. And for toddlers, it delivers complete nutrition with minimal processing. You won't find that in a carton of almond or oat milk.
There's also a class of fats in whole dairy that's worth noting: odd-chain saturated fatty acids, or OCFAs. Your body doesn't make these, so you have to get them from food. and they've been linked to lower risks of type 2 diabetes, obesity, fatty liver, inflammation, and even overall mortality.
You won't get OCFAs from soy, almond, or oat drinks. That's one more example of how dairy offers nutritional advantages that plant-based alternatives just don't replicate. Especially when the dairy comes from grass-fed cows, the difference is even more significant.
And let's not forget the microbiome. Raw milk contains living enzymes, beneficial bacteria, and immune-boosting compounds. These elements support digestion and protect against illness, functions that plant-based drinks, especially the shelf-stable kinds, simply don't provide.
That's a good point. If you're going to use raw milk, make sure it's sourced from reputable farms that don't use iodine-based disinfectants to avoid excess iodine exposure. But overall, raw milk from grass-fed cows gives your toddler a much better start than any plant-based formula.
So what should parents do if they've already been using plant-based drinks for their toddler? The good news is that your child's body responds quickly to proper nutrition. The sooner you make the switch, the better support you're giving your child's bones, brain, and immune system.
First, stop using plant-based drinks as a milk replacement. This is especially critical between 12 and 24 months. Even fortified versions don't provide what's needed, and soy adds extra risk due to hormonal effects.
Second, avoid using plant-based drinks as a base for infant formula. If you're not breastfeeding and need an alternative, the best option is to make your own formula using raw, grass-fed milk, organic cream, and other animal-based ingredients. For dairy-sensitive children, a meat-based hypoallergenic formula is a better option.
And if breastfeeding is still possible, it remains the gold standard. No formula, plant-based or otherwise, can match the immune, hormonal, and developmental support of human milk. But if it's not an option, a thoughtfully made, nutrient-rich formula is far better than commercial soy or oat blends.
It's important to realize that what you feed your toddler today lays the foundation for their long-term health. Nutritional gaps may not show symptoms right away, but they affect everything from bone density to brain development.
And don't be misled by clean labels or trendy marketing. Just because something says plant-based or organic doesn't mean it's safe or suitable for toddlers. Always look beyond the branding and consider what your child's body can actually use and absorb.
Today's challenge is simple and practical. If your toddler is drinking plant-based milk, try removing it for 1 week. Replace it with raw, grass-fed cow's milk if possible, or a well-balanced alternative based on whole, animal-based ingredients. Observe the difference in how your child eats, sleeps, and responds, and let that guide your next step.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.